A Giga Coaster is classified as a roller coaster with a height or drop between 300 and 399 feet. There are currently 4 Giga Coasters operating in the United States, and I've been fortunate enough to have ridden all 4 of them. In this video, we are going to compare the stats and the ride experience of each of the 4 American Gigas. Before we dive into the numbers, let's take a quick look at each individual coaster. First up is Millennium Force. This coaster resides at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, and was first opened up in the year 2000. Millennium Force holds the title of the world's first Giga Coaster, as well as numerous Golden Ticket awards. Built by Intamin, this coaster features 3 trains and a fast cable lift hill. Millennium Force sits right on the edge of the lake and provides an incredible view of the park and the lake while you ride up the lift hill. The next American Giga Coaster was Intimidator 305. Located at Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia, Intimidator 305 first opened up in 2010. Intimidator is also built by Intamin, but this one only has 2 trains. Intimidator 305 is themed to the legendary NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt and is widely considered to be one of the most intense roller coasters ever to be built. The third American Giga Coaster is Fury 325. Located at Carowinds near Charlotte, North Carolina, Fury has been thrilling guests since 2015. Built by B&M, this legendary coaster features 3 trains and the world's tallest chain lift. Fury is also the longest steel coaster in North America, and it's the 5th longest coaster in the world. The newest Giga Coaster is Orion. Located at Kings Island near Cincinnati, Ohio, Orion is new for the 2020 season. Orion was built by B&M and features 3 trains, and it also uses the terrain to allow for a drop that is longer than the coaster is tall. Orion is themed to an experimental space vehicle traveling to a new planet in the Orion constellation, and it is by far the most elaborately themed Giga Coaster. Okay, it's time to dive into the numbers to see how each of these coasters compares to its peers. First up, let's talk about height. Fury 325 takes the top spot as the tallest Giga Coaster in the United States at 325 feet. Millennium Force takes the second spot at 310 feet. Intimidator 305 comes in third at an unsurprising 305 feet. And Orion comes in at 287 feet. Not quite 300 feet, but it makes it up on the drop. While we're talking about drops, let's rank each coaster for the height of its drop. Coming in at 320 feet, Fury 325 has the tallest drop of any American Giga. Intimidator, Orion, and Millennium Force all have exactly 300-foot drops, tying each other for the 4th spot. If we compare the angle of the drop, Orion and Intimidator both have 85-degree drops. Fury has a slightly shallower 81-degree drop, and Millennium Force comes in at an 80-degree drop. Giga Coasters are all about speed. If we break down the statistics on speed, Fury 325 takes the top spot at 95 miles an hour. Millennium Force clocks in at 93, with Orion coming in slightly slower at 91. Intimidator 305 is the slowest of the 4 at only 90 miles an hour. The next stat to look at is length. Fury and Millennium Force are in a league of their own on this. Fury comes in at an impressive 6,602 feet, with Millennium Force coming in at a very close 6,595. Orion checks in at 5,321 feet, and Intimidator is the shortest Giga in the United States at 5,100 feet. The final stat that we're going to look at is capacity. Orion has the highest capacity, supporting 1,650 riders per hour. Fury comes in at a close second, supporting 1,470. Intimidator comes in third place with 1,350, and Millennium Force brings up the tail end of the pack with 1,300. While the stats on these Giga Coasters may be similar, each ride provides a unique experience, and while most of us have our personal favorites, no ride is the clear leader in every category. Riders who prefer an intense ride experience will pick Intimidator as their favorite, while people who are a fan of pure height will lean in the direction of Fury. If speed and low-to-the-ground elements are your favorite, you'll undoubtedly prefer Millennium Force, while those of us who are fans of detailed theming and storytelling will prefer Orion. For me personally, my ranking of the 4 American Giga Coasters is as follows. In the number 4 spot is Orion. Orion is a great all-around coaster that delivers a great ride experience from start to finish. While it's not as good as the other American Gigas, Orion was the perfect addition to Kings Island, and I personally make sure to get a ride on it every time I visit that park. In the number 3 spot, we have Millennium Force. The incredible view on the lift, combined with so many fast, low-to-the-ground elements, is really hard to beat. Despite being over 20 years old, Millie has aged really well, and she is a must-ride attraction every time I go to Cedar Point. My second favorite US Giga is Intimidator 305. While the ride is short, the pure intensity of this ride leaves you exhausted at the end of each lap. Intimidator is the most unique ride experience of any of the Gigas, and that right turn at the bottom of the first drop is one of my all-time favorite ride moments. Having named the other 3 Gigas, that, of course, means that the mighty Fury 325 takes my number 1 spot as the best American Giga Coaster. From start to finish, Fury 325 is a nearly perfect coaster. If you've never made the journey to Carowinds, you really owe it to yourself to make the trip and to experience Fury firsthand. It really is that good. All 4 of these coasters are great rides, and if I ever bothered to rank my top 25 coasters, all of them would probably make the cut. Maybe that can be a future video. Have you ever ridden the 4 US Giga Coasters? If you have, tell me about your rankings in the comments section, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more content from Coaster Center. Until next time, ride on, coaster fans.